Welcome to YACHTLLYWOOD podcast. Here we will uncover the stories behind the yachting industry.
Italy's oldest shipyard,
We always love to say we are simple boat builders.
an icon of craftsmanship and design,
I would probably summarize with a timeless elegance.
leading innovation in propulsion and technology.
This is reality for us. It's not only a theoretical study. A lot of long-standing clients, they are now kind of, I don't say bored, but maybe they've seen enough.
So why not to take it to another step?
Today in the YACHTLLYWOOD podcast, Fabio Ermetto from Baglietto.
The experience of building a boat has to be as pleasant as the use of the boat, as the enjoyment of the boat.
The only thing I ask for you is your support by subscribing to this channel, by liking, commenting, and of course, sharing this podcast with your community.
Welcome everyone to a new episode of YACHTLLYWOOD podcast. And today we're at Flips 2025 on board this Baglietto Dome 133. Yes?
Welcome on board.
Thank you. I'm with Fabio Ermetto, the sales director, right?
Yeah.
Of Baglietto. See, I have it right. Thank you, Fabio, for having us on this beautiful boat. And yeah, I'm really excited about this opportunity of talking about you because if we go back on time, like the very first interview I did, if you can call that, in yachting, it was with you. And so it's like, it's important for me, Baglietto and you, and you say it marked a beginning.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's always nice to have you back. And yeah, I remember that interview. We were in Portofino on the first 52-meter we built a few years ago. And yeah, the scenery and the place was special. And so yeah, hopefully we were bringing you good luck.
Yeah, you definitely did. Fabio, and I remember in that time you already had like such a strong vision of the following years, and but yeah, we will speak about this later on. For now, I want to know, what is the philosophy of Baglietto?
Well, let me try to condensate this in a few sentences. We like to believe we are a boutique shipyards with a limited production, all in very highly customized. This is why we focus on steel and aluminum constructions. And we carry the responsibility of the oldest brand in the industry. We celebrated last year 170 years. So there are some elements in the DNA of the brand that we try to transfer in all our boats, custom and semi-custom. And I would probably summarize with a timeless elegance in our boats. We always try to use the same philosophy in our daily job, in the approach to the clients. We like to have a client-centric company, but we try to bring this humble approach in our everyday business. So this is, if I summarize in a few words.
Beautiful. And so you do, most of your boats are semi-custom, right?
So 70% of full custom, 70% semi-custom, 30% full custom. Our approach to semi-custom is also, I would say, very custom, because there are different degrees of doing semi-custom in the industry. Our semi-custom is very much towards the custom. We are able to change layout. All our boats, no matter the size, they have a customized full interior. Even our entry level 35 meter, so Dome 115. But also we customize the boat for each client. This is one of the reasons, or the main reason, why we don't want to build more than 5-6 yachts per year. Otherwise, you should enter in a different business model with a little bit less of customization, and that's not what you want to do.
So when you are building a custom, how do you keep the essence of Baglietto with the requirements of the owner?
That's a challenge, I have to say, because in the semi-custom we are able, obviously, to control a little bit the exterior design. With full custom, sometimes the owner is developing the full custom design with us, and in that case, it's because he likes the Baglietto brand. But sometimes the owner comes with his own design, fully custom, and it's our job, together with the owner most of the times, try to bring some of the Baglietto element into even in a full custom boat. So this is more challenging, I would say, but most of the time works, especially during construction when the owners understand the philosophy of the shipyard, working with the shipyard, and he feels part of the family. So he's very willing to, let's say, to bring some styling element, I would say, into his boat.
And the semi-custom. So I feel there is a perception that when you say semi-custom, what changes is the interior, but also the exterior lines can be changed.
Obviously for each company is different. You know, you have a semi-custom where you can change only the decoration, and you have completely the opposite way, which is our way to do it. Is that on a semi-custom we can even can change up to a certain degree the exterior. You know, we have both of the same designs with longer deck, shorter deck. The layout, which is obviously not easy to do, especially or impossible to do if you do a fiberglass boat. In our case, we do only aluminum and steel. So we really change the layout by moving galley up, down, and so heavy changes. And obviously the interior, of course, yeah.
And how do you see that the mentality? We see that there is so many young owners coming up, like sometimes even in their 20s. It's incredible. How is the mentality and their request changing with this?
Well, I think we have a lot of new owners, younger newcomers, and I think at least for Baglietto we saw a change in the use of the boat. It was before more of a traditional use. Traditional, I mean going to traditional places, always, you know, the famous yachting places. In the last couple of years, and it's not related to age, at least in our experience. It's related to a different approach. So it's more about exploring new places, thinking to spend more time on board with the family, but not only the holiday time, just living on board for a couple of months. So the approach has changed a lot, and a lot of long-standing clients, they are now kind of, I don't say bored, but maybe they've seen enough the usual places, and they are now really considering to get into new places. And I think this is extremely positive for boating, because boating is not only, it's also glamour and glamorous places, but it's also spending a lot of time going around the world with friends, families, enjoying the time together and building up memorable experience. That's yachting, the freedom of going everywhere with the people you like to be with.
100%. Like I feel like now traveling is so affordable. It has become affordable for everybody. So why not to take it to another step? And if you can, you know, be 1 month in the Antarctic, I don't know. Why not, right? That's why yachting is meant for, to go the other level.
And I think also probably the long time ago now the COVID helped, because the people started to consider a boat like a place to be for a long time, kind of a floating office, a place where everybody became more used to Zoom calls. Before that was a little bit reluctant. Everybody was a little bit reluctant. Now it's extremely normal for everybody to work and spend a lot of time working from home. So why not working from a boat? And we see this change in a lot of our clients. Yes.
And I heard a lot, like they are requesting to have the same things they have at home. So if I have, I don't know, my bathroom to the left, so like they want to feel the yacht is their second home, right?
Yes, they think more like a second home, like and not anymore, as I mentioned before, a place to have holidays, but just a place to spend a lot of time. Sometimes very long periods, sometimes a lot of short periods. You know, in some area we have clients going and staying on the yacht 2 days a week, just like going to their weekend house. So that's positive. I think it's bringing some different way to use the boat, which is also giving indirectly a different image of yachting. Yeah.
Yeah, Fabian. And if I go back to our conversation 3-4 years ago,
Yeah.
long time ago, I remember we were speaking about so the T52 hybrid was just launched, and you were speaking about the hydrogen technology and how this will advance in the next few years. So what is it happening in Baglietto? How are you developing this?
Well, in the meantime, we went on. You know, Baglietto has always been pioneering a lot of in a lot of areas. I mean, since 170 years. So we have been one of the first building an hybrid boat. I think it's now about 12, 13 years ago. The first Lloyd's certified hybrid was a Baglietto. We now offer all our boats with a hybrid option, but we invested a lot in the hydrogen. So the hybrid plus hydrogen component. And in order to show our client that this is reality for us, it's not only a theoretical study, we built the hydrogen system with the same components under the survey of classification, exactly 1-to-1 scale on dock. And actually it is working. We are producing electricity out of seawater. Now, the next step will be obviously to find a visionary owner, visionary client that is ready to embrace this challenge. We are already studying a 60+ meter fit for this hybrid hydrogen component, and we hope we are almost ready. So we hope that in the next year or two, we can start the construction together with the client of the first hybrid hydrogen boat. We obviously look at the different sustainability projects that our colleagues are doing, and everything develops very quickly. So we monitor everything, but we believe at the moment the most sustainable solution is hybrid. Also because with our system, we are not dependent on supply of hydrogen from shore, which in other cases, like with methanol, you are always depending from the network, which at the moment is not developed enough. So with our system, we produce our own hydrogen out of seawater. So we are completely independent from shore. Yeah.
So how efficient that will be? How much the range will increase?
Yeah, well, we also store the hydrogen at low pressure. So this obviously gives less capacity. We don't believe the technology is there enough for a 50 or a 60 meter to have a boat only propelled by hydrogen. It's one of the components. So you have to think to a boat with different sources of energy and a mixed use. So you have main engine, you have generator. So with a hybrid and generator, you can basically have a diesel electric boat, or you only switch to batteries. And in the meantime, the capability of the batteries is multiplied by 10 times because of the hydrogen. So if you look, we did a simulation on a 54-meter boat, and you can basically leave the dock with about 130 miles fully electric. But the real benefit is during a week when you use the main engine for long passages or the diesel generator, so very low consumption. In the meantime, you keep producing hydrogen and you can move bay to bay or to have the day trip only fully electric.
Yeah, so this will of course like mixed with the fact that that the owners are looking for, let's say, more extreme experiences, then is a perfect match, right?
Yeah. No, it taps, and also the boats, the yachts that we are designing, they change slightly because of that. You know, because obviously when you consider to spend a lot of time on board, when you consider to move in very different places all around the world, then you have to consider a lot of others element, like the space on board, the storage, the water toys, and how can you enjoy your boat in very cold climate as well as in the Bahamas. So chase boat and all this kind of equipment and element that changes your life on board. So designing a boat is also very important to start from the lifestyle that the owner is expecting and the use that the owner is expecting. This is obviously, I would say, easier when you design a full custom boat, but it's also important to have enough flexibility to adapt your semi-custom. This is why when we design a semi-custom, we always have the flexibility in mind and the different option that some area can be used. You know, we have on the 54-meter 2 areas that can be used as a second garage, as a spa gym area, as an adventure room, and as they use it in one of our latest boat, as an additional storage with a walk-in freezer and freezer. So you have to design your boat with this kind of flexibility because you have different users, and the boat has to be customizable enough.
And how's that the market, the global market reacts to Baglietto? Is there any, let's say, sex appeal because of the Italian craftsmanship, or what do they?
Well, obviously, you know, the Italian boats, but not only, you know, the made in Italy and the Italian style is very famous in the world. We also building a boat in Italy has the advantage that you spend a lot of time in Italy, and we are very lucky with our country. The most of our clients, you know, they come with a great enthusiasm in building a boat there, spending a day at the shipyard, the next day being in Milan, being in Florence, being in Tuscany, being Rome. So that's also part of the experience. Then I think Baglietto has also, as I mentioned you before, this heritage of these 170 years that is very much appealing to the owner. But I think, and I mean, the feedback we receive from client is that they are most of the times very pleased when they come to the shipyard and they find our humble and simple approach. You know, we always love to say we are simple boat builders. You know, we have to build a boat. We are here to build the best boat we can do for you. We develop our organization always having the client at the center of our organization, and not the product. The product is obviously very important, is what we do, but it has to be a client-centric organization. And we always, since we are builders, the experience of building a boat has to be as pleasant as the use of the boat, as the enjoyment of the boat. So this is why we keep this very important concept in mind in everything we do, from designing the boat, from meeting the client, approaching with the client, and try also to have a quite approachable organization towards the client. This is the spirit of the company that has always been in Baglietto, but we are pushing, enhancing this in the last couple of years, more and more.
Can you give us a little something of what projects are coming up, what Baglietto is working on now?
Well, we have a few custom projects, some of them quite interesting. I mean, recently we announced the sale of a 48-meter Explorer or ocean-going yacht with the peculiarity of having a 10-meter custom-made tender, which is carried on the back and moved in and out very easily, but without a crane. So it's with a kind of complicated cradle that is disappearing into the deck. And this also on this project, we together obviously with the owner and his team, the decision was to have this Volvo Penta pod system, which is making possible to move the engine room in the under lower deck. Our deck are always on same level, that we don't use split deck on this boat, so it's an access from the beach area directly to the guest area. Quite, we have some other challenges on board. No, the owner likes to give us challenges on this boat, but that's actually
how you evolve,
what
right?
we like. It's actually how we evolve. But even in the semi-custom boats, we keep evolving our boats. If you look at our Dom 133, for example, between hull number 1 or 2 and hull number 9 or 10, which we are building now, there is always something improved. Sometimes it's a feature like balconies, but we learn always from our client. We like to learn, and when we find that some of their changes, would say, or requested modification are clever, we just on the next boat we just apply them, and this makes our models evolving. We don't do restyling, we don't do new models because this is more part of a production series, but we keep evolving continuously the semi-custom model so that each yacht is kind of special and one of a kind. Yeah.
Beautiful. And what is your vision for the future? Like the ideal of Baglietto, what are you working on?
Well, we first of all, we are very lucky because we have a shareholder. We are 100% privately owned by an Italian family or an Italian group. And we have as shareholders, we are understanding our industry, but also not with the request of doubling or trebling the production, with no idea of selling the boat or selling the company or listing the company in the stock exchange. So this is, I always say, this is a luxury, and that's our starting point. We always keep it in mind. We would like, obviously, to consolidate more and more. We see like a natural shift of towards a custom boat. We don't want to be a builder only for custom boat. We always want the right mix. But the technological element is always something we try to bring on all our boats. And our challenge for the next few years is that the average size of our boats is becoming larger. So this is, now we have obviously our 41 meter, our 35 meter, but we have 360 meter under construction, and we have demand for bigger boats. For the time being, we decided not to go over a certain limit, but maybe one day we have to, just to follow our clients.
I'm
Yeah.
100% sure
Yeah.
that will happen. Fabio, thank you so much for this conversation. I hope everybody enjoyed. And yes,
Thank you.
I can't wait to see whatever you're working on and the Explorer and all these beautiful projects. So.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure having you on board, and see you soon.
I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and as I said before, I am working so hard to bring you the best guests, to give you the deepest insight from the super yacht industry. So please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and of course share this with everybody that you think they will be interested in learning more from this amazing world. I send you a big hug, and I'll see you next time.